name is Kilia. I also have formerly been known as Coco. My full name is Kilia Pahulu. That's how my family will know me. And I am Tongan and Māori. And I moved to Australia in Gadigal country with my family in 1999. And I've been here ever since then. And I actually went to a performing arts high school, so that was kind of my first, introduction to the stage. And I did really well, but I didn't know how to continue that. And I also wasn't prepared to, go to school at that point. So I went and did other stuff like makeup, which then led to me coming back to theater and other things helped me in my performance. So I had my hand in there, and then I found, the stage again through Uncle Johnny, who whipped me up and was like, "We've got a spot at the Bearded Tit, love for you to perform." And that's when I first started coming back. But my biggest inspiration was probably be Bhenji, my mother, my sister. She kind of, was doing her own thing. She, I guess, did what I wasn't able to do, wasn't willing to do, which was study. So she was in New York actually studying, and she brought all of that back to Australia and had so much to give, and found me and a group of the other girls and was like, "Hey, let's start a group." So we started performing. We went to Carriage Works, Performance Space, Day for Night, Mints, all of these really iconic and sacred parties, events, and has this emergence of ballroom in Sydney, and we never had that before. So we find ourselves in these club spaces, galleries, but also in these bars like the Bearded Tit. And it's kind of feels full circle that after everything that we've been through, lockout laws and COVID, that all of these places still exist, and that I'm a different artist at this point. And it kind of feels it's, it's a lineage, I guess you could call it. And I'm so happy to be a part of that. I would probably say they all hold a really special place in my, I guess, archive and my body memory, because they all lead to the bigger performances, the big moments, and I carry all of them on stage. But to name a few, I'd probably say Sissy Ball was a really big part of my journey as an artist, probably because it was the culmination of all of my history, my performance history. And here I was standing not only as one person, but and all of my history, but all of the history, not just from Australia, but from New York and from New Zealand. And with all my sissies behind me, it kind of felt like it was a reward for all the work, or it was kind of a pinnacle. And, but that's obviously going back to our very first gig, before Sissy Ball, which was I guess where I saw all of the queer family here in Sydney, was Carriage Works. And I had met Uncle Johnny there. I had met Latai, who's a massive part of my development as an artist. So many different backgrounds, and people who I still have relationships with now, which is I guess it is about the things that you remember, but it's also about who you bring into your present, who still stays in your current, I guess, mind frame or something. The queer community is, to me, my second family, and sometimes it feels my first family. And when I think about family, I think about, the conversations that we have around, connectedness, our lived experiences, but also really common things like politics and how we align, and what's happening in the world right now. So sometimes it's nice to bounce it off people who are having the same experiences as you. And it feels there's I guess it feels an echo, and it's nice to kind of step back and then come back in and remember that, that we are more similar than we are different. And that's beautiful.